What if I told you that the walk you've been doing every morning, the one you feel good about because you've stayed consistent with it, may not be enough to keep you strong, steady, and independent after 60? I'm not knocking walking. I walk. I program walking. I recommend it all the time. But I'm going to give you the hard truth. Walking is good for circulation, it's good for stress, and it's better than sitting on the couch. But if your goal is to keep your legs under you, protect your joints, stay sharp, and keep doing life on your own terms, walking cannot do that job by itself. And that matters because after 60, the game changes. The real threats are not just weight gain or getting winded. The real threats are losing strength, losing balance, losing reaction time, and slowly losing confidence in your own body. That's how independence starts to slip away. Not all at once, piece by piece. I learned that lesson the hard way. After 20 years in the teams, I thought if I could still grind, I was fine. I was wrong. My blood pressure was up, my hormones were off, my recovery was a mess, and underneath all that toughness, my system was breaking down. I had to rebuild from the ground up. And one of the biggest lessons was this: the body stays capable when you train it for capability, not just activity. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 exercises that do more for aging well than walking alone ever will. These are not flashy. They're not gym bro nonsense. They're practical, targeted movements that build real-world strength, better balance, stronger posture, and a body that can still handle life. Stay with me all the way through because the third one is the movement I wish more men started doing 10 years earlier. It's simple, but it changes the way you move through the world. Before we get into it, put your age and where you're watching from down in the comments. I read them, and I like seeing where this community is showing up from. All right, let's get to work. The first exercise is counter push-ups. Most men think push-ups are for younger guys, military recruits, or somebody trying to show off in a gym. That's nonsense. After 60, upper body strength becomes more important, not less. You use it every day, whether you notice it or not. You use it to push yourself out of a chair, to brace yourself if you stumble, to carry groceries, to open doors, to catch yourself from falling, and to keep your shoulders and posture from collapsing forward. Here's the problem with walking. It does almost nothing for that system. You can walk 3 miles a day and still struggle to push yourself off the floor if you ever end up down there. That's not a fitness issue. That's a survival issue. Counter push-ups are one of the safest and most effective ways to rebuild pressing strength without beating up your wrists, shoulders, or lower back. They also teach your core to stay organized. That matters. Every time you move your arms with control while holding body position, you're training your trunk to stabilize. That means better posture, better transfer of force, and better protection for the spine. Here's how I want you to do them. Stand facing a sturdy countertop. Put your hands about shoulder width apart. Walk your feet back until your body forms one straight line from your head down to your heels. No sagging hips, no chin reaching forward. Lower yourself slowly toward the counter. Pause for a second. Then press back under control. Don't race through it. Slow reps build useful strength. Start with 6 to 8 good repetitions. If that's easy, work up over time. If it feels too hard, step in a little closer. If your shoulders bother you, reduce the range and keep the elbows from flaring too wide. And listen to me on this. Quality beats ego. I do not care how many you can grind out with bad form. I care whether you can own the movement. Strength has no expiration date, but it does require discipline. The second exercise is the straight leg raise. Now this one looks simple enough that some men dismiss it. Big mistake. Some of the most important things in training are simple. After 60, one of the fastest declines we see is in the muscles that support walking mechanics. Stair climbing, standing up, and knee control. Your quads, your hip flexors, and the stabilizers around the pelvis all start losing capacity if you don't challenge them directly. That's why some men say, I still walk every day, but stairs feel harder. Of course they do. Walking is repetitive and low demand. It doesn't ask enough from those muscles to build them back once they've started to weaken. Straight leg raises are not glamorous, but they target exactly what many older adults are missing. They help restore control at the front of the hip and thigh, and they teach your trunk and pelvis to stay stable while one leg works. That's not just exercise, that's rebuilding your foundation. To do them, lie on your back on a firm surface. One knee is bent, foot flat on the ground. The other leg stays straight. Tighten the front of that straight leg, brace your midsection gently, and raise the leg up in a controlled manner. Not high enough to twist your hips, just enough to stay clean. Hold it for a second or two, then lower it slowly. Do 6 reps per side to start. Build from there. If lying on the floor is not practical, you can modify this seated, or work with a physical therapist if you've got a recent surgery or significant pain. What matters here is not height, it's control. If your low back arches hard off the floor, you've gone too far. If your neck is tight and you're straining, reset. This is precision work, slow, deliberate, useful. And yes, it pays off. Better leg control, better stair mechanics, better ease getting in and out of chairs or cars. Those little daily wins are not little. They're the difference between managing life and depending on somebody else. The third exercise is the step up. This one is gold. If you want one movement that trains strength, balance, coordination, and confidence all at once, this is it. Because real life is full of step-ups, curbs, stairs, porch steps, bus steps, uneven surfaces. Every one of those moments asks the same question. Can your body lift you up and lower you down without hesitation? A lot of men over 60 start avoiding stairs. They say their knees don't trust them. Their balance feels shaky. They hold the rail and move carefully. I get it. But avoidance creates fragility. When you stop practicing a skill, you lose the skill. Step-ups rebuild it. Stand in front of a low step. 4 to 8 inches is enough. You do not need to get heroic here. Put one foot on the step, lean your weight into that leg and drive through the heel as you stand up. Then step back down under control. That last part matters just as much as the lift. The lowering phase builds the kind of strength that protects knees and prevents sloppy movement. Start with 6 controlled reps on each leg. Hold on to a rail or countertop if you need it. That's not weakness, that's smart training. The goal is to get stronger safely, not prove something to the room. Why do I like this so much? Because it does what walking does not. It asks one leg at a time to handle your body weight. That exposes imbalances. It trains stability around the knee and hip. It forces your foot, ankle, and core to work together. And over time, it gives you something even more valuable than stronger legs. It gives you trust in your body again. I've heard from men who tell me the first time they noticed progress wasn't in the workout. It was when they went up their front steps carrying something and didn't think twice. That's the win. That's what we're after. You're not just stepping onto a box. You're stepping back into capability. The fourth exercise is the wall sit. This is one of the most underrated movements in training for older adults. No equipment, no complicated setup, no impact, just you, a wall, and the willingness to stay still under tension. Here's why it matters. One of the clearest signs that lower body endurance is fading is when standing up from a chair starts feeling harder, or your legs tire quickly when you're in line, walking through an airport, or moving around the house for long stretches. That's not just getting older. That's losing local muscular endurance and postural strength. Wall sits train exactly that. Put your back against a wall. Walk your feet out a little. Slide down until you're in a seated position, or at least partway there if full depth doesn't feel right yet. Then hold. Keep breathing. Keep the chest tall. Don't collapse. Start with 15 to 20 seconds. That may not sound like much. Do it properly and you'll understand. Over time, build toward 30 seconds, then 45, then a minute if appropriate. What this does is teach your quads, glutes, and trunk to sustain tension. That translates directly to daily function. Standing up, lowering yourself onto a chair with control, bracing when you lose balance, staying steady when fatigue tries to break your posture down. And there's another benefit older men don't talk about enough: confidence. When your legs feel weak, everything feels more dangerous. You move differently. You hesitate. You avoid things. When your legs feel reliable, the world opens back up. If you've got severe knee pain or uncontrolled blood pressure, be smart and get clearance before pushing this one. And do not hold your breath. I want steady breathing the whole time. Tension without panic. That's the standard. The fifth exercise is the dead bug. Now I know. The name is terrible. The exercise is excellent. This is one of the best drills I know for teaching the body how to coordinate movement while protecting the spine. And after 60, that becomes a big deal. Because a strong core is not about six-pack abs. It's about being able to control your arms and legs while keeping your trunk stable. That is how you move safely. That is how you reduce unnecessary strain on the back. That is how you improve balance and body awareness. And there's another reason I like it. Cross-body movements challenge the brain. When one arm and the opposite leg move together while the trunk stays locked in, you are asking your nervous system to coordinate, sequence, and stabilize. That's useful for cognition, useful for fall prevention, useful for staying sharp. To do it, lie on your back. Bring your arms straight up over your shoulders. Lift your legs so your hips and knees are bent about 90 degrees. Then slowly lower your right arm and your left leg away from each other while keeping your lower back gently connected to the floor. Return to the start. Switch sides. Do not rush it. This is not cardio. This is control. If your back pops up hard, shorten the range. If moving both arm and leg together is too much, start with just the arms or just the legs. What I like about the dead bug is that it teaches discipline. It forces you to slow down, pay attention, and own the movement. That carries over into everything else you do. How you walk, how you lift, how you turn, how you recover from a misstep. And after 60, being mentally present in your movement is a major advantage. A lot of falls don't happen because somebody was weak in one isolated muscle. They happen because timing, coordination, and body awareness broke down. This drill helps clean that up. So those are the 5. Counter push-ups, straight leg raises, step-ups, wall sits, dead bugs. Notice what they all have in common. None of them are there to impress anybody. They exist to make you more useful, more stable, and more resilient. They train the body you actually live in. Now, let me be clear. I'm not telling you to stop walking. Walking is still valuable. Keep the walks, especially if they help your mood, your blood sugar, your sleep, or your consistency. But stop treating walking like the whole plan. It's not. It never was. If all you do is walk, you're leaving major gaps on the table. You're not training upper body strength enough. You're not challenging your balance enough. You're not preserving lower body force enough. You're not addressing coordination enough. And you're definitely not building the kind of reserve that keeps you independent when life throws something unexpected at you. What you need is a more complete system. A little strength, a little stability, a little coordination, a little honest effort done consistently. Not extreme, not complicated, just targeted. That's how you age well. And let me say something to the men watching this who feel behind. Maybe you've been sedentary. Maybe your belly's bigger than you want. Maybe your knees bark at you. Maybe your energy isn't what it was. Fine, start there. No shame, no drama, but start. Because the body you have at 60 is built by the choices you make today. The same is true at 65, at 70, at 75. It's never too late to improve function. You may not move like you did at 25, and that's fine. That's not the standard. The standard is this. Are you becoming harder to break? Are you becoming more capable? Are you building a body that supports your life instead of limiting it? That is the mission. If this shifted the way you think about exercise after 60, good. That was the point. Pick one of these movements and start this week, not next month. This week. One set, then another. Build the habit. Build the skill. Build the man. Drop a comment and tell me which one you're going to start with. And if there's a movement in daily life that you want to get back, climbing stairs, getting off the floor, carrying your bags without strain, standing taller, put that in the comments too. I read them, and they help me make these videos for the problems that actually matter. If there's somebody in your life who needs this message, send it to him. Brother, friend, father, neighbor. Men stay quiet too long while their strength slips away. No reason for that. You're not too old. You're just getting started. Strength has no expiration date. Let's keep building it.